Hey everyone, it's EmJems here, and today we're taking a look at the Life is Strange 2 Episode 4 trailer that has just dropped. I am so excited to see what's going to happen in Episode 4. I have not seen this trailer yet. I wanted to wait and get my first reaction on camera for you guys, so I think we'll take a look at it and I'll give my initial impressions, and then we can go through it again a little bit more slowly and see what details we can get and see if we can figure out what's going to happen in Episode 4. So with that, let's get into it.
I keep having these nightmares since I came out of the coma.
Coma?
Nowhere to go. What do I do now? I'm so different now. I don't even recognize myself.
Remember, you gotta do this.
4 times a day, I won't forget. I let everybody down. I lost Daniel. Where would he hide out?
We have a lot of people looking for your brother.
This is where I am.
For how long? It's been over 2 months.
The Bureau put his profile out over 4 states.
This is where I chose to be. Facing all your cries.
You might spend the rest of your life in prison, or you can talk to me.
Take control.
We gotta be careful now. How would I even find him? Is the whole world out to get me? Nobody will stop me. I'm not afraid. I want to help my brother. It's all I can think about.
Have to take control.
Shawn?
Oh my god, wow. Okay, so the very first thing that I was thinking while watching this was it feels like such a different game. Did anyone else have that feeling while watching this? I don't know, it just feels so different from the previous 3 episodes. I think that this episode is gonna be probably the craziest and most intense that we've had so far, just judging by this. Oh my god, I'm so excited, but I am so nervous. Poor Shawn. I can't believe... So it's been 2 months, that's what they just said, right? And he was in a coma. That was so shocking. I was not expecting that at all. I thought we were gonna wake up in this scene here or something like that, and then I had this feeling that Shawn wasn't going to try to get medical attention, and he was gonna try to just take care of it himself and then run off and try to find Daniel and continue to be on the run, but I was not expecting him to be in a coma. So the cops must have come to this scene at the camp and picked Shawn up. And then I guess depending what happens at the end of episode 3, if people are dead, that could have different outcomes for other characters. Possibly if Meryl killed Finn, he could be in big trouble if he's not dead himself. And this gives me hope, actually, though, that we're gonna find out what happened to Cassidy and other people at the camp, that they won't just leave that hanging, because that's something that I was worried about.
I'm so different now.
Okay, so Shawn somehow has a car now. I don't really know how he got a hold of that, if that's actually a car that he obtained illegally, or he stole one. I'd be surprised if he stole one just because he's already in so much trouble. But at the same time, after watching this trailer, it kind of seems like he's totally just fueled by this need to find Daniel, and he'll do anything. And what he says, I'm so different now, it really does seem that way. I'm really sad for Shawn, just from what I've seen from this trailer. So I'm kind of getting the feeling that this episode's going to be split into 2 parts. The first part being Shawn in the hospital, recovering, and then being interrogated by the police. And then the second part is Shawn ditching the hospital, running away, and going after Daniel himself. Because he says here...
We have a lot of people looking for your brother.
This is where I am.
For how long? It's been over 2 months.
Yeah, so he says it's been over 2 months. So I think Shawn is probably getting sort of fed up with the police. They're not making any progress on finding him. And so he's probably like, screw this. Like, I am going to go after my brother myself and I'll do whatever it takes to find him, even if I'm going to be in more trouble with the police. I don't think he cares at this point. I don't really know how exactly Shawn ends up in Nevada, if something happens to make him realize he needs to go there, or he just happens to go there, and it's all a coincidence. But as we can see from this billboard, there are definitely going to be strong religious themes in this episode. That's something that people were cluing into like long before this trailer came out. So we see a couple more of them, and it definitely seems like Shawn is going to some sort of church at some point as well.
You might spend the rest of your life in prison, or you can talk to me.
Okay, so the way that she says this is interesting because I don't know if this is like a very subtle threat towards Shawn to try to get him to like give up information about Daniel, because maybe they know something weird is going on just with all of the evidence. Like, obviously from the very first episode with when the first, situation happened, and then like the whole streets messed up, like obviously Shawn couldn't have done that, and now the place, like a similar sort of chaotic destruction has happened at the camp. So I'm wondering if like the police and other people are finally going to be cluing in. And I also wonder, now that a couple people from the camp know about Daniel's powers, if they are going to actually say something. Like, I always thought that like Cassidy was such a good friend, she was so genuine, but like now the circumstances are different. She could be injured, Finn could be dead, right? Like, so maybe she would be more willing to talk, realizing kind of the seriousness of the situation. Or it could also be Jacob that has said something, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about him in a bit. But, I mean, this lady kind of seems like she wants to help Shawn, right? So maybe, like, she is his lawyer, and she's trying to help him and, like, make sure that he doesn't go to prison for life, saying, like, you need to tell me so we can figure this out. So I hope that she's on his side, but considering he chooses to bail out of the hospital, I'm not so sure about that.
We gotta be careful now.
Okay, this is interesting because that doesn't really sound like Shawn's voice. That sounds like somebody else, right? Somebody saying, we've got to be careful now, to Shawn. So I wonder if he's met up with someone, he's working with someone. It could be Jacob, it could be someone else that he knows, or someone else that he meets along the way. But I kind of like the idea of Shawn not being totally on his own, because he just seems like so devastated, and it's going to be really heartbreaking if he's just going through this all by himself. So before this trailer even came out, a lot of people were theorizing that Shawn and Daniel's mom, Karen, was going to be a part of the church, or even a part of some like religious cult or something like that. And now we see these religious signs, and one in particular saying Universal Uprising Church. So maybe that's where we're going to end up going, and that's where we'll find her. There's also a mailbox here that says Haven Point. I'm not really sure what the significance of that is yet, though. I'm trying to figure out if these are people that we know, and initially I thought the guy on the left was maybe Jacob, but then it definitely isn't. If you keep playing it, that's not his face at all. So I'm not sure who those people are. Maybe they're people that we end up meeting at the church or along the way who for some reason have it out for us. I'm wondering if it's possibly connected to things that we have done as Shawn in the past, whether it's people that are related to like the neighbor, that all the way from the first episode, or even the cop. It could be people that know the gas station guy, Hank. It could be people that knew people from the camp. But I kind of get the feeling that they are new people, like from the church or whatever, that have it out for Shawn for some reason. And it seems like Shawn is going to have a really hard time, because he's also going to be continuing to dodge the cops. Oh my god, that scene. Did you guys see that? So quick, but that is Shawn getting out of the hospital by hitting this guy. I don't even know if we can pause on it.
Nobody will stop me.
Oh my god, who is this guy? Just a guy that works there? Hitting this guy over the head with a pipe. Like, Shawn has become so ruthless. He will do anything to get to Daniel. It's that desperation that like makes him dangerous to himself, to other people, and it's like, I'm so worried about him. Even just this, like them asking, how far would you go? It makes me think that this episode is really going to push us to make really tough choices, and possibly choices that are going to get people hurt or killed, or, you know, either get Shawn or Daniel or people that they know in serious trouble. So, like, this has me really worried. Okay, this shows up super, super fast. It was hard to even pause on it, but it seems like something is on fire, like a building is on fire here, and two people are trying to get out. I wonder if someone sets the church on fire. I did not notice this the first time I watched it through, but yeah, looking through it again more slowly, maybe that's Shawn's mom right there. Does that look like Jacob with her? Or could that be someone else? Like the pastor, or just another churchgoer, or like... That doesn't look like Shawn. I mean, there's even the possibility that this could be because of Daniel, like maybe because of a conversation or something, depending on a choice, he could set the church on fire, right? The only thing is I don't know if we're really going to see Daniel this episode, or if we do, I feel like it's going to be towards the end. I really think this episode is going to be focusing on Shawn, which I'm kind of excited for, because we've been so, like, I know we're searching for Daniel and that's the whole point, but to actually get to spend some time alone with Shawn and some other characters and not have to worry as much about influencing Daniel, I think it's going to be a big change, and it's going to be interesting, so I'm looking forward to it. Okay, this also happens super fast, but somebody's pushing Shawn here. It kind of looks like that person is the same person walking out of the fire. Doesn't that kind of look like the same shirt? So maybe this is someone that knows Shawn's mom and then is getting mad at Shawn for whatever reason. That's my best guess.
I want to help my brother. It's all I can think about.
Okay, so someone else has a gun here. That's definitely not Shawn. I obviously can't tell who it is, but I wonder if that is like Shawn's mom or it's someone else. Like, it kind of seems like it's a woman, but I can't really tell.
Shawn?
And then, of course, the ending here with this woman's voice, and that does not sound like anyone that we know so far. When I very first watched this, I was trying to, like, cycle through in my head, being like, okay, who do we know? Like, who from a previous episode could it possibly be? And then I was like, wait a minute, that has to be Shawn's mom. It has to be. Like, they have just been giving so much in previous episodes, talking about her so much. There was no way that Daniel wouldn't go and try to find her after being separated from Shawn, right? Something that didn't occur to me right away after playing episode 3 was maybe that Daniel thinks that he killed Shawn. Because I was saying, like, he probably saw the destruction he caused, he saw that he had hurt people, that he hurt his brother, but maybe he actually thinks that Shawn was dead, and that's why he ran away. If that's the case, then he would have no idea that Shawn is out there looking for him. He would just think that it's the police looking for him. And when you think about it, it's really sad, because this whole time, the whole game, Shawn has been teaching Daniel how to run away and how to hide. And now those two things that we have been teaching him are the two things that are keeping us from finding him, which is so sad. I think it's very possible that this scene here is going to be close to the very end of the episode, and we're not actually going to get to spend that much time with Karen. I feel like they're going to leave it on a huge cliffhanger and leave us with more questions than answers going into episode 5, because that's kind of what they did with Life is Strange 1. The end of episode 4 was kind of like the pinnacle of like intensity and drama and all that, so I feel like they might do that again with Life is Strange 2. But I do think we are going to see Karen. I think that is incredibly likely, given all the information we've gotten about her in the past 3 episodes, how much they've been building up to it. And the question is now, just what kind of person is she, right? Is she really going to be there for Shawn and Daniel? I get the feeling that she is, because of what she wrote in the letter to Claire and Steven. I'm just so intrigued by the whole Shawn, Karen, and Daniel dynamic. I don't know how Shawn is going to react to Karen. I think he's definitely going to still be hostile towards her. I have no idea how she's going to be back towards him, like, after everything that they've gone through. And I'm also wondering if Daniel, if he is in fact here, and he has, you know, met up with his mom, if he's going to tell her about the powers. Because something that I've seen previously, people speculating that Karen also has powers, and that's kind of how Daniel got them. I love that theory. I hope so much that that is true. Because, I mean, despite the fact that Shawn has tried so hard to make Daniel keep the powers a secret from people, like, a lot of people know about the powers. A lot of people have found out, right? Like, people at the camp, you can straight up tell Steven, or he senses it himself that something's up with Daniel. And then Claire and Steven both find out at the end of that episode anyway. And also Chris. So, like, a lot of people already know about the powers. I feel like this episode, Shawn is not going to care anymore. And, he'll tell whoever he has to tell just in order to get back to Daniel and to make sure that he's going to be okay. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the character of Jacob, because obviously he had a bit of a weird reaction when he found out about the powers, thinking that it was like maybe there was some kind of bigger meaning to it or something like that, since he was kind of on that search for meaning in his life. And that kind of being tied in with religion, I feel like it's going to cause problems. I really hope that maybe if he's at this church or he's affiliated with it in some way and we see him again, that he's going to be an ally for Shawn. He's going to be supportive and is not going to be somebody that causes more problems. My hopes for episode 4 are two main things. I hope that Shawn and Daniel are both going to be okay. And kind of as an aside to that, I hope that we're going to see Daniel, even if it's like just at the very end of the episode, just to know that he's okay. And I mean, kind of in my playthrough, what I'm going for is just trying to keep the relationship as strong as possible and try to avoid this exact situation, honestly, with them getting split up. But I really hope that Daniel doesn't hate Shawn or blame him for everything that's happened. And then the second thing that I really hope that happens is that we hear a little bit more from characters from previous episodes. I would love to hear from Lila again, maybe Brody, people at the camp, even just to find out, like, from Cassidy if she's okay. I would love to hear from Chris or his dad or something like that, because episode 3, it was kind of just like Daniel briefly mentioning him and that was it, and I was so disappointed by that. So those are my two major hopes for episode 4 of Life is Strange 2, and I do kind of hope that they leave off on a big cliffhanger, honestly. Like, I really liked how they did that in Life is Strange 1, because it is just so much fun to, like, theorize about what's going to happen in the next episode, especially with the next episode after this being the finale of the game, and I think it's going to be just so wild to think about what the final choice is going to be, because you know it's going to be something crazy. So that's all the thoughts that I have for this trailer for now, but let me know if I missed anything or if there's things that you guys picked up on that I didn't down in the comments. I would love to talk to you guys more about it there. If you're interested in catching up on my playthrough for Life is Strange 2, I will link that down in the description so you guys can go check it out, and I will see you all back here very soon for episode 4. I'm also going to make a discussion video after the episode, just the same way I did with episode 3, talking about everything that happened, the major plot points, and other little details, as well as theorizing and speculating about what is going to happen in episode 5, the finale. Anyway, for now, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.